Hello, my name is Yogendra Joshi. Welcome to the second tutorial of macro photography. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about various equipment you can use to achieve macro photographs. Just to recap, what is macro photography? It is being able to focus at really close subjects, and to achieve that, you're going to need a camera and a lens which will allow you to do that. Now the first question, what is the right camera? I would say you should definitely have a DSLR, at least a basic DSLR. Now the key benefit of DSLR is that it allows you to try various equipments because you can change the lens and then you can settle for the one which helps you the best. The second key benefit of a DSLR is that it allows you to shoot in RAW format, and also the sensor is far better than a normal point and shoot camera. Now the next important question is which lens? Once you have a DSLR, you need to choose the right lens to do the macro photography. Now we are going to discuss at length various lenses and also some alternative equipments which will allow you to choose the right equipment for you to start your macro photography. We'll start evaluating from the high-end dedicated macro lenses, and then we'll get into the alternate equipment which you can use to do macro photography. Now let's look at various lenses you can use to do macro photography. You can use a dedicated super macro lens like a 65 MP, or you can use a dedicated macro lens like a 100 mm Canon or a 105 mm Nikon. Alternatively, you can use some interesting other combinations. You can use bellows or extension tubes. You can use diopters like Renox. You can reverse a lens like a kit lens, or you can even adapt a 50 mm lens on top of a telephoto lens. One of the best equipments for macro photography is 65 MP. Now that's not a lens for weak-hearted. It starts with 1:1 magnification and goes up to 5x magnification. 65 MPE is pretty expensive. It blows a hole of about 1100 US dollars or 75,000 Indian rupees. Now let's talk a bit about 65 MPE. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. It gives you end-to-end sharpness in a macro. But there are a lot of challenges in that. Beyond 2x and 3x magnification, there is a huge light loss and you need to compensate for it. Another key challenge with 65 MP is the working distance. Beyond 2x, 3x magnification, you really need to be very close, almost touching the subject. With this kind of a limitation, it's very difficult to use this lens in the field on moving subjects. Many people use this lens for a dedicated macro setup at indoor for doing stacking. Now the next equipment is a dedicated 1:1 macro lens, be it Canon 100 mm or a Nikon 105 mm. There are a lot of other lenses in this bracket too, but all of them are in the range of 800 or 900 US dollars, which is about 60 or 65,000 Indian rupees. Now barring the cost, these lenses are really beautiful. They are made for macro and they are made for the field work. You are able to get some beautiful shots even in natural light with these lenses. Now these lenses are really beautifully made. They are created to handle the chromatic aberration and they give you end-to-end sharpness. And it's also very easy to shift from autofocus to manual focus on these lenses. These lenses are also made to double up as normal lenses, and you can do some really beautiful portrait work with this lens. The only key limitation with this kind of a lens is that it stops at 1:1, and you will soon realize that you would want to go much higher than that. Now, while it's a limitation, it can be easily solved by using a extension tube or using an adapter like Renox. So as a advice, if you are passionate about macro photography and if you can afford a dedicated macro lens, I would suggest definitely go for it. Another type of dedicated macro lens is a wide angle macro lens. Now that's a new thing that is coming up. A 15 mm macro lens by Venus is a great example of this kind of a lens. It's about 500 US dollars. Now this lens is made to show the details of the insect at the same time preserving details of the background and the landscape it is in. Now let's assume you do not want to spend $1,500 or $500 on a macro photography lens. Now let's see what other alternatives are available to do macro photography at a reasonable cost. Now the first category of alternatives is using bellows or extension tubes. The way they work is they allow you to use an existing lens and focus really close with the same lens, and they do that by extending the lens beyond the sensor, and we'll see how it works. Now let's start with the cheapest option we have in extension tubes and bellows. That is this hollow tube which is called an extension tube, which is a completely manual extension tube. Now these manual extension tubes are pretty inexpensive. They are about $5 or 500 Indian rupees. They are actually made up of multiple elements. They generally come in 3-part elements, and you can use all 3 together or just 1 or 2 of them. Now if you want, you can actually use couple of them to get even greater magnification. You would typically use a manual extension tube with a prime lens like this 50mm lens. The way these extension tubes work is that you need to put the extension tube on your camera first and then put your prime lens on this extension tube. One key limitation of manual extension tube is that you need to set the aperture of the lens manually. Now you would want to shoot at f11 or f16 and you would need to do that manually. Now on a entry level Canon, there are buttons like DOF button which allow you to set the aperture of the lens when the lens itself is attached, and then take out that lens and then put it on the extension tube. In case of Nikon, it works slightly differently. You need to adjust a knob at the back of the lens. There are few YouTube videos available for it, but I would tell you it's a bit clumsy. Now there is another alternative. You can actually use really old manual lenses which are M42 adapter compatible, and you can use these lenses on top of the extension tube. You can actually pick up an old M42 adapter prime lens like this Industar 50mm 2.2 for about $15 to $30 on ebay.com. The key limitation of this setup is that you need to add and remove the extension tubes every time you need to change the magnification. Now on the field it can be a bit clumsy. Now that said, this is still a very good alternative. If you're not sure if you want to do macro photography in a dedicated way, I would strongly recommend getting some manual extension tubes and trying them out. You can get some really beautiful shots with this kind of a extension tube. Now next, let's look at another alternative for extension tubes. They are the auto extension tubes. Now there is one key advantage with auto extension tubes. You can simply put them on and then use your 50mm or any other lens, and the auto extension tubes will be able to set the aperture of the lens. Now another advantage is that you will still be able to use the autofocus capabilities of the lens and this equipment, but in limited conditions. Good quality extension tubes are available at around 100 to 200 US dollars. There are also some inexpensive options available at around $50. Next, let's take a look at another interesting equipment. It's called bellows. Now what are bellows? Bellows are almost like extension tubes with key advantage that you don't have to reduce or add the extension tube elements to reduce or increase the magnification. It typically comes with a knob with which you are able to easily change the level of magnification by taking the lens far out or bringing it back in. I would typically recommend using M42 manual lenses along with bellows. This is the way the bellows work. You typically put your lens on top of the bellows and then put the bellows on top of your camera, and then you can change the magnification by moving the knob. Now another category of alternate equipments is called adapters or diopters. Now what are these? These are extremely good quality magnifying glasses. Now I have tested multiple types of diopters, and I can tell you Renox is the best one that we have got. Renox is typically made up of 2 to 3 glass elements, and it allows you to achieve much higher magnification without really no distortion whatsoever. You can attach Renox to any lens which has a diameter between 52 to 67 millimeters. Let's try to attach this lens to Sigma 7300, and even though it's an old lens, when you attach a Renox to it, it becomes a great magnification equipment. You can pick up Renox on Amazon US at about $60, and in India it is available at around 6,500 to 6,700 Indian rupees. So an adapter like Renox in my experience works best at 100 mm to 300 mm. It gives you a magnification of about 1:1 at 200 mm, and it extends up to 3x at 300 mm. A telephoto lens coupled with Renox, that's my best buddy, and I've been using it for over 6 years. Almost 50% of my work in macro has been done with this combination. The key limitation of Renox or any other diopter is that you will need additional light, and we are going to talk about it in the next tutorial anyway. The next category of alternate equipments is reverse ring. Now, you can use a reverse ring to use any normal lens and attach it in the reverse way onto the camera. When you attach a normal lens to a camera in a reverse way, it gives you a really high level of magnification. Reverse lens adapters are typically used with a kit lens like this 1855. The correct way to use a reverse ring is to attach the reverse ring at the top element of your lens and then attach the lens in the reverse way onto your camera like this. If you remember, we talked about the limitation of extension tubes. The first limitation is controlling the aperture. You would need to set the aperture of the lens before you remove the lens from the camera and then put it the reverse way. With the reverse ring, you can achieve some crazy amount of magnification at 18 mm and good amount of magnification with good working distance at 55 mm. One more additional limitation of reverse lens is that you are exposing electronic elements of this lens. Now there is a very simple fix to this problem. You can just take a simple lens cap, put a hole in it and then attach it to the back of the lens while you are shooting. Now this will protect your electronic elements. Another challenge with this setup is that the working distance at 18 mm or even at 35 mm is really too small. You are practically touching the subject on the field. Now that becomes very difficult. And the last issue with this setup is again light. At 18 mm, when you are getting close to 4x magnification, the light is never enough. In the next tutorial, we are going to talk about how to manage light, and that will be also applicable to this setup. A different type of lens reversal technique involves a telephoto lens and a prime lens. You attach a prime lens in the reverse way on a telephoto lens, and for that you need something called a coupler. In this case, I am using a coupler between 58 mm and 52 mm. 58 mm is the diameter of my telephoto lens and 52 mm is the diameter of my prime lens. The way to use this is to put the coupler first on the telephoto lens or the prime lens, whichever suits you, and then put the other lens. Once you have attached this setup firmly, you can practically use the prime lens as if it is an adapter, and then you can go on shooting. Now at the end, after we discuss so much, it might actually be very confusing as to what's the right thing to use. So here are some recommendations I would like to give. The first recommendation is that if you have a telephoto lens already with you, I would strongly recommend buying something like a Renox. Renox is definitely a great value for money and you will never regret having one. Now next recommendation is that if you have a 50 mm lens with you, I would definitely recommend you getting extension tubes. You can either take manual focus extension tubes or you can take autofocus extension tubes. With either one, using a prime lens, you will be able to get some amazing results. And third one is obvious. If you are really serious about macro photography and if you can afford a dedicated macro lens, I would strongly recommend buying one. Now that the challenge of achieving magnification is out of our way, let's try to look at light in the next tutorial. If you have liked this tutorial, please feel free to like, subscribe and share. We hope you will join us for the next tutorial in this series. Happy shooting!